you're someone who loves movies, I'm sure you have a favorite quote or a favorite dialogue. One of my favorite quotes is from this movie from 2006. It's called Rang De Basanti. And just to set the context, to set the scene, Air Force pilot Flight Lieutenant Ajay Singh Rathore is having dinner with his friends who are all college students, who are all sitting around the table and just continuously bitching about India, about the country, about the unemployment, corruption, everything wrong with this country. Ajay says something really simple that stayed with me for a very long time after the movie ended. He says, no country is perfect. You have to keep making it better. And this is true for any country, any state, any city, even life, and especially in any film industry.
What?
Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. Today's video is about questions I want to ask the Tamil film industry. For most of my life, I've grown up on Tamil films and there are a lot of things I like, a lot of things I don't like that much, a lot of things that could be a lot better, quite a lot of things that I'm looking forward to in the near future, right? That's what this video is going to be about. But first, roll that intro. Okay, question number one. Why are we so worried about making pan-Indian films? Pan-India, pan-India, pan-India. I don't like it. After the insane hype and success of Pushpa, RRR, KGF 2, the entire country is just obsessed with making pan-Indian films. And it's understandable, right? When something works really well, everyone wants to copy it, everyone wants to do it. And let's leave the Hindi film industry. They thought only their films can reach the entire country, but right now their films are not even reaching entire Mumbai. But why is the Tamil film industry so obsessed with going pan-India? Even before pan-India was a word that started trending on Twitter, Tamil cinema has had so many films, especially the ones by Shankar so many years ago, which became huge hits when they were dubbed in other languages. There was also a period when Bollywood was continuously making South Indian remakes, especially Tamil and Telugu remakes. Secondly, Tamil cinema consistently makes good films with a right mix of commerce and art. Just take 2021. Master, Karnan, Sarpata Parambarai, Jai Bhim, Manadu, Doctor, Kadasi Vivasai, Mandela, even with theatres mostly being shut, the Tamil film industry produced some of the best films last year. And finally, what we're seeing right now is the success of Pushpa, RRR, KGF 2. But the thing is, these are landmark films that happen once in 5 or 10 years across any industry. There are so many other pan-Indian films which didn't really do that well. For example, Saira, or Marakkar, or Radhesham also. See, I know ambition is good. Wanting Tamil films to reach every part of the country and beyond is amazing. But honestly, Tamil cinema is making good films every year, and I think the focus should be to work on the flaws that are there to make them even better. And speaking of flaws, why can't we give more credit to script writers in the industry? In one of his interviews, Nelson, who's the director of Doctor and now Beast, he said that he doesn't like to spend more than 3 months on a single script. And that's completely okay. I'm not saying that you have to spend years and years on a script, only then it's going to be absolutely perfect. But just take Beast, for example. You have a huge star like Vijay, who will guarantee audiences coming in. You have a music director like Anirudh, who is producing banger upon banger and is going to guarantee the buzz that the film needs. You have a really experienced cinematographer like Manoj Paramahansa, who's worked on so many great films, and you know he's going to make your film look great. You also have the best technicians and one of the biggest production houses, Sun Pictures, to back you up. So my question is, why is the writing of an invasion thriller so lacking in depth, logic, or just plain excitement? And this is not Nelson's fault. I'm not going to blame him. I don't know where this problem starts and ends, but this is a problem with Tamil cinema and pretty much every other industry in the country. This is just an example of what happens in the West. Writers write a script, they pitch it to studios, studios pick those scripts up, and then they attach a director to it who has the right vision to see that script to completion to make the best cinematic version of that script. But here, I don't know why a director also has to write his or her own scripts. I really don't know why they do this, because they spend so much money on a film. I'm sure they can get an experienced screenwriter to write a really good script, and then the director brings that script to life. This is something I think every film industry can learn from Malayalam cinema. They have always given importance to writers, and that's why even if the films lack budget, they are so interesting, so engrossing to watch because of the screenplay, because of having dedicated screenwriters. If there's some more attention given to screenplay, to the writing, if more writers are encouraged and given their due credit, I think Tamil cinema has the potential to consistently produce the best films in this country year upon year. Slightly related question: why is an actor's salary so much higher than the production budget? So I found this particular image on Twitter. I didn't make this up. This is from Pudhiya Thalaimurai, and it describes the salaries of the top actors in the Tamil film industry, from Vijay, Ajit, Rajini, Kamal, Surya, Sivakarthikeyan, and you can see the numbers, right? And firstly, I just wanted to say this is not about whether they deserve it or not. I'm sure they deserve it. They bring a lot of their audiences into the theaters. This is also not about what they do with that money. I really don't care. But the point I want to make is, if so much money is just given as actors' salary, it means that the rest of the production budget is going to take a hit. So suppose someone wants to make this big budget superhero film. In our country right now, it obviously needs a big star to recover some investment. But at the same time, it also needs world-class VFX work. It might need international stunt teams and big grand sets. But right now, it's so difficult to even imagine something like that, because along with the actor's salary, the production budget becomes so much that it'll probably be impossible to recover that amount of money. And which is why not a lot of people take many risks. They want to play safe projects in which they give the actor a lot of salary, invest a minimum in the production budget, and just ensure that the actor brings in his audience and it lasts for a few weeks, and that's it. And I know no one is going to care about this suggestion, but I think stars who have reached a certain level, they have the power to do this. Instead of charging a huge salary in advance, maybe just take a percentage of the box office returns or the profits. So the main focus would be to make the biggest and best films possible with the right production budget. And when the film releases, the audience will love it, they'll celebrate it, they'll make it a big hit. Everyone involved, including the actors, gets a percentage of the profits, and everyone wins. Coming from actors, when are we going to see more films with female protagonists? Just last week I made this video about how I wanted to see more female action films, and Kangana Ranaut's next movie Dhakad will probably be the answer to that. That same day, Arun Madheshwaran's Sani Kaidam released, which had Kirti Suresh in the lead. It was like our very own version of Kill Bill. It also had some breathtaking cinematography by Yamini Yagnamurthy. We finally have a female DOP after a very long time, and that's great. But why are there still so less films with women in the lead? Especially in our commercial cinema, why do we give such useless roles to our women, where all they do is just come for 3 songs and then just disappear? We have no idea what they're doing in the film. We have no idea what their occupation is. Their only role is to be eye candy or be jealous of who the hero looks at. And no matter how much the world is hating on Hindi cinema right now, they're at least attempting to make women-driven stories with actors like Vidya Balan, Deepika Padukone, Taapsee Pannu, Anushka Sharma. And we need to see such women-led stories. We need to see female representation in Tamil films, or at least hire more actresses from here in Tamil Nadu who can actually speak Tamil. When it comes to our movies, we are just ignoring an entire gender. I mean, it's 2022. I don't think it's really much to ask for. Next question is a bit on the lighter side. Why don't we see more romantic comedies? Recently, I did this Twitter space with our very own Kishan Das for Netflix, and we were asking people, what kind of movies do you want to see made in Tamil cinema? And more than 60% of the audience said rom-coms. Films like Ullam Ketkume, Kandanal Mudal, Unnale Unnale, Kadalum Kadandu Pogum, SMS, Boss Engira Bhaskaran, all these wholesome feel-good romantic comedies that friends, couples, college students, families, something anyone can enjoy any number of times. But over the last few years, this genre seems to have disappeared. Next question. Will Kamal make more films with younger directors from now on? One more thing I miss about Tamil cinema is seeing Kamal Haasan on the big screen. There could be many reasons for why that's not happening. Maybe he wanted a lot more creative control over his movies because of his political ambitions that he had. But whatever it is, finally, the legend is collaborating with Lokesh Kanagaraj, one of the most promising directors in Tamil cinema, and their film Vikram looks super exciting. It's got Anirudh making the music. It has Fahadh, Faasil and Vijay Sethupathi and possibly Surya also in the cast. We are also going to see Kamal doing a Kuttu song after I don't know how long. And maybe this could be like a new chapter. And maybe Kamal is going to start collaborating with a lot of younger directors, people he's never worked with before. Vetrimaran, Paranjit, Karthik Subbaraj, Mari Selvaraj, Venkat Prabhu, Pushkar Gayatri, and maybe someday Tyagarajan Kumar Raja? And finally, when is this man going to make his next film? Anyways, I'm sure I've made it very, very obvious, but I'm a huge Tyagarajan Kumar Raja fanboy. And every single person who knows him said that he's a very, very gifted filmmaker, a gifted mind. But the only problem is, he's just made 2 films. One came in 2010, which was Aranyakandam. One came 9 years later, which was Super Deluxe. Both these films are milestones in Tamil cinema, and I don't know when the next Kumar Raja film is going to be. We need this man to make more films because this guy is a gift to Tamil cinema. He's a genuinely original filmmaker. I think he'll take this industry to whole new places. So, by chance, if one of you watching this by any chance knows Kumar Raja personally, please just keep pushing him. Those were the questions I had for the Tamil film industry as a fan, as someone who wants the Tamil film industry to reach more, to do better. And if you're someone who loves watching Tamil movies, who loves the Tamil film industry a lot, I'm sure even you have a lot of questions for the industry, a lot of things that you want to change, a lot of things that could be better. Tell me all of that in the comments. Let's discuss. That's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.